Coming up tonight, a special counsel has been appointed to investigate the classified documents found at the president's home and former office.
Plus, a proposed bill here in Nebraska could put thousands of dollars back into your pocket if you have children. But first tonight.
I'm very grateful for this unexpected opportunity to be able to continue to serve the people of Nebraska.
Pete Ricketts will officially be replacing Ben Sasse in the U.S. Senate. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us.
Governor Pillen made the announcement this morning at the Capitol. This is our top story this evening.
It was clear the person for the job is Senator-designate Pete Ricketts. Thank you, Pete.
Now, Ricketts was an avid supporter of Pillen and spent over $1 million to help his 2022 gubernatorial campaign. But at the news conference today, Pillen said he had not made any secret deals. Ricketts said he is looking forward to bringing what he's done in the state government to Washington, D.C.
You know, there's a fallacy in Washington, D.C. that government can't work and we have to expect failure. But that's not true. We proved that it's not true here in Nebraska. We want to take the things that we've done here and bring them to D.C. so that we can continue to have the greatest nation the world has ever seen.
Pillen also confirmed that he received more than 100 applicants for the position, but only interviewed 9 people for the job. Ricketts will serve as a senator for at least the next 2 years before voters decide in 2024 who will fill out the rest of the term. A new bill could benefit close to 900,000 Nebraskans.
We're talking about the Nebraska Child Tax Credit Bill, which would refund up to $1,000 per child to families. Channel 8's Veronica Barreto joins us live with the details. Veronica?
About half of Nebraska's families could benefit if it passes in the legislature, and Nebraska could become the 10th state to have similar legislation. Introduced by Senator Danielle Conrad of Lincoln, the Nebraska Child Tax Credit Bill would benefit about 81% of the state's children. Also known as LB 294, it would provide families earning a certain income level a refundable tax credit up to $1,000 per child.
This can benefit rural Nebraskans, urban Nebraskans, and really most families with children that need that extra help to deal with inflation, to deal with increased educational and childcare costs.
If approved, Nebraska would join states like New York, Massachusetts, Maryland, Colorado, New Mexico, California, Maine, Idaho, and Oklahoma on having a child tax credit legislation.
I thought the time was right to introduce this in Nebraska. It's a proven strategy that has strong support across the state and across the political spectrum.
But how the proposal works, it would allow a $1,000 credit per child under 18 years old to be claimed by families with income up to $75,000 for a single filer and $110,000 for married couples filing jointly. Families making more than that would receive lower credits based on income.
As there's no limitation on the number of children that are covered, and it kind of phases in and out with different income levels.
Senator Conrad says that the credit will put some extra money in the pockets of hardworking Nebraskans. She says that different from other tax bills, this one considers middle-class families. This bill would be in addition to the federal child tax credit. For the 2022 tax year, it gives up to $2,000 for each qualifying child under the age of 17. The proposed bill still has to go through a hearing, which could be early next month before it could be debated on the floor. I reached out to Republican senators and different organizations, but have not heard of any opposition to this bill as of this time. For more on this story, you can visit KLKNTV.com.
Veronica, thank you very much for that story tonight. And staying at the Capitol, Nebraska lawmakers are urging federal powers to honor 3 brothers lost in a training exercise during the Vietnam War. They passed a resolution urging federal officials to list Nebraska natives Gary, Gregory, and Kelly Sage on the Vietnam Memorial in Washington.
That's right. The Sage brothers were among 74 killed on the USS Frank Evans back in 1969. Now, this happened around 200 miles off the coast of Vietnam, and lawmakers at the time did not consider it part of the war zone. The resolution is now encouraging officials in D.C. to add their name to the wall. Now a tragic story. 2 men are dead after a plane crash in southeast Nebraska.
It happened late last night just south of the Auburn airport. 24-year-old Colton Hill of Kearney and 41-year-old Dustin Bigler of Valparaiso were killed. Officials say the plane had left the Lincoln airport to go to Auburn, but then disappeared. It crashed about a mile south of the Auburn airport.
We got some other phone calls from acquaintances saying, hey, we think that there might be down in this area, so deputies went and looked, and that's when they found the plane that had crashed. But I mean, the plane's just out in the middle of the field, kind of like folded in half.
Colton Hill was a former aviation student at UNK. He also was a pitcher on the Loper baseball team. The crash remains under investigation. We'll have more on the story tonight at 6 o'clock. Now to western Nebraska, a portion of Highway 6 is now open after a chemical fire broke out.
It happened at an agriculture plant in Lamar. The impacted area basically stretches from the city of Imperial to the Colorado border. Take a look at that picture of the black smoke there, plume of it. No word yet on what caused this or how much damage was done. Those in the path of that smoke, they were asked to stay inside their homes just to be safe. I'll follow up now on the beloved Bellevue restaurant that recently burned to the ground.
The owners of Nettie's say people were looting the place while it was still smoldering. The family says that by the time they arrived to what remained of their restaurant, the thieves were gone. But a few $100s in change had been stolen after surviving the big blaze. The owners say a cook also had her purse stolen that had all of her Christmas money inside of it. Bellevue police say they are doing some extra patrolling now of the area.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins on this Thursday to see how things are going. Pretty normal?
A decent January day overall, a little on the cooler side, but a lot of cloud cover for one side of the state, some clearing skies on the other side of the state, so kind of depended on where you were at as to what kind of day you had. But on the eastern half, we're looking at a lot of cloud cover, and you can see that from about Valentine to Grand Island to about Beatrice East. A lot of clouds and even a couple of flurries in the northeastern portion of the state. Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies for everybody else. It is cloudy at Southeast Community College, 84th and O Street. Looking at a lot of clouds and temperatures that are okay, I guess, this time of year. 26 degrees at Southeast Community College, 25 East Campus, 26 also at the Lincoln Airport. Zooming out just a little bit for the entire state, you'll see 30s where there was sunshine, where there's cloud cover, cooler temperatures. O'Neill, Norfolk, Lincoln, Nebraska City, Omaha, all in the 20s because of that cloud cover, but because of the sunshine, the middle 30s, which is about where we're supposed to be this time of year. A little bit on the windy side too for the eastern half of the state with a north to northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Your forecast for tonight, temperatures slowly dropping through the 20s to around 21 degrees by 10 o'clock this evening, partly to mostly cloudy skies, and that wind will eventually die off. A northwest wind at 10 to 20 will drop to around 5, 10, maybe 15 miles per hour as we head through the evening hours. We've got a warm up in store. It's going to take a couple of days to get there, but warmer temperatures by the weekend. More on that forecast coming up just a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you, Rusty. We have now the latest on the classified files discovered at President Biden's former private office and home. Today in Washington, Attorney General Merrick Garland announced an independent special counsel to oversee the investigation into the documents.
It's a significant escalation into the Justice Department's probe into the handling of the files. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more from Washington.
In an extraordinary move, Attorney General Merrick Garland appointing a special counsel to oversee an investigation into 3 separate instances of classified documents found at President Biden's home and former office.
This appointment underscores for the public the department's commitment to both independence and accountability in particularly sensitive matters.
Garland announcing former U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, Robert Hur, will oversee the probe. Hur worked with the Justice Department under former President Trump.
I am confident that Mr. Hur will carry out his responsibility in an even-handed and urgent manner.
Garland says Biden's lawyers discovered a second batch of classified documents in the garage of the president's home in Delaware. Then today, the president's lawyer contacted the Justice Department to report another classified document had been found elsewhere in Biden's Wilmington home. An initial set of 10 classified files was found in November at the president's former private office in Washington. Sources tell ABC News the documents date from Biden's time as vice president, some marked top secret.
People know I take classified documents and classified material seriously.
Both President Biden and former President Trump are now subject to special counsel investigations over the potential mishandling of classified documents. But Trump repeatedly resisted turning over hundreds of classified files he allegedly brought to his Mar-a-Lago estate. Trump also refused to comply with a subpoena, prompting a court to issue a warrant for the FBI to seize them from his home.
The White House says it's confident that the special counsel's review will show that the documents were inadvertently misplaced and that the president and his lawyers acted promptly upon the discovery of this mistake. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up after the break, a new addition is coming to the Henry Dorley Zoo in Omaha.
We're going to tell you which animal is expecting right after the break. It's a big day for fans of Omaha's Henry Dorley Zoo.
The zoo announced that they're expecting a new baby giraffe sometime in March.
We just finished a pregnancy ultrasound on one of our animals, one of our bigger animals, some might say. We normally typically try to find the baby that's in there. Ours is being a little shy today, and it's hiding down here in kind of the gray zone. What we can see is a very healthy placenta on the screen. And so these are the connections that provide the nutrients from mom to baby, so that that baby can grow nice and big and strong and be healthy when it's born.
This will make Zola a first-time mom, and she has been kept under close observation throughout the 15-month pregnancy. Again, she'll be due in March. Now to some more national news. California getting a short break from deadly storms with more rain forecasted for tomorrow. At the same time, another system is moving east, bringing tornadoes.
But there are signs that all of that rain and snow out west is actually helping them with their drought that they've had. ABC's Tim Pulliam is in Los Angeles with the latest.
missing Darwin. Oh, it's right here!
Today, California cleaning up Mother Nature's destruction. Weeks of rain and snow along the West Coast, easing the state's years of drought. Look at this map over the last 3 weeks. The state went from 27% extreme drought, the second highest level, to pretty much gone. Officials say the excessive moisture over the west, that atmospheric river, is enhanced by climate change. The warmer the atmosphere, the more water it holds, dumping heavier amounts of rain and snow. Since Christmas, parts of the state receiving up to 3 feet of rain. So far, more than a dozen people dead, millions under a flood watch.
If I could do it all over again, if I saw any water at all, I would have turned back.
Lindsay Bowen hoping her son Kyle is still alive. Since Monday, crews along the Central Coast continuing searching for the missing 5-year-old swept away by raging floodwaters. Today, the storm that battered the west, moving east, bringing devastating tornadoes in the south. A tornado reportedly touched down in Selma, Alabama, sending debris flying. The West Coast is not out of the woods yet. The area bracing for another extreme weather system of rain and snow later this week. Washington under an avalanche warning. Tim Pulliam, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now, your Storm Alert team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rusty Dawkins.
So it's Thursday and the drought monitor released on Thursdays, and there has been improvement. Not a whole lot. We're still seeing exceptional drought for northeastern Nebraska, and then over here by North Platte, exceptional drought, and then of course to the south and west. The only difference, everybody else, nothing has changed except this little spot right here between Valentine and O'Neill was exceptional. Now it's extreme. That's it. So improvements, it's just, that's kind of telling. We had a lot of snow going on for the western half of the state and very little change. So hopefully as this snow melts and slowly goes into the ground, things get better and better as the weeks go by. But we need more snow, rain, whatever it takes. High temperatures today, a little probably not conducive to a whole lot of melting, but some. Did get to a 29 in Lincoln today, 31 Hebron, 30 in Grand Island, a touch warmer in Holdridge and McCook, North Platte, where you saw sunshine. It was a little bit warmer, but a lot of cloud cover out there. Beatrice looking at kind of see the sunset there on the horizon. Schoen's Roofing with a lot of cloud cover in Beatrice at 6th Street and Perkins. Temperature-wise, a lot of 20s out there, cloudy skies, a little bit of a northwest wind. That wind will eventually die down as we head through the next few hours. 27 in Beatrice right now, Wymore at 25, Bremen at 27 degrees. We'll zoom out and show you that we're kind of chilly everywhere. I mean, we've been having the 50s. It was like an early spring, fake spring. 23 degrees in Columbus right now, 21 the cold spot in Central City. So it's about 10 or 12 degrees colder for most of us, single digit colder in parts of the Tri-Cities, Aurora and York. Wind is not helping either. It's out of the north at 12, 16, 18 miles per hour. So that gives us a little bit of a wind chill. Single digits in Columbus at 9, 14 in Lincoln, 13 in Wahoo, 12 in Omaha, Beatrice here, 14 degrees for a wind chill. So there's a bite to the air. Haven't had too many of those lately anyway. Boy, December we did. But January, that's weird. January's been a little bit warmer than December. Mostly cloudy skies from about Beatrice to York, Grand Island, Greeley, but everything west of there, plenty of clear skies. Maybe even a few flurries just off to our north and northwest. Platte County, Madison County might be seeing a couple of flurries. Very light. I mean, 3 snowflakes, maybe 4. Mostly cloudy skies as we head through the night for much of the state. They might even see some patchy fog in north central Nebraska. I think dense fog here, patchy fog for the rest of us, a possibility. A lot of melting going on, and that dissipates as we head through the day on Friday, leaving us with anywhere from mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies on Friday through Friday evening. So heading back into Friday night, maybe a few more clouds starting to build in. Wanted to show this. This is just kind of I don't want to say a tease, but this is where the snow is going to be coming at us next. We have to wait until next week, but by Thursday, there's some models are saying that we may see some snow trying to get into our area for the second half of the week. It's a week away, but still, models are saying, hold tight, we've got some snow possibly coming your way for next week. So that's something we'll monitor over the next several days. Tonight, temperatures around 17, 18 degrees, maybe some lower 20s a little further west. A northwest wind at 10 to 20. That wind will eventually die down. Northwest wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour. I think it'd be 5 to maybe 10 miles per hour overnight. 17 degrees, a chilly one. And then highs tomorrow, pretty close to normal. 35 is our average high. We'll be a degree or two away from that. Decreasing clouds, normal's 35, we'll be at 37. That northwest wind, that should make for a nice day. When you can get the wind less than your temperatures, you're doing okay. Back to the 50s right away. Saturday and Sunday, 50 and 54 degrees. Showers possible as we head into Monday. And then Tuesday, still in the 40s, a touch cooler on Wednesday with maybe a little, there's one snow chance as we head through Wednesday into Thursday. That's what I was just showing you. There is a snow chance, and maybe we'll see some accumulating snow. And if we do, those temperatures towards the end of next week might be a little cooler. But until then, boy, this weekend, very, very mild.
Yeah, I was just looking at those temperatures. Soak this weekend in.
You know, and I know California had to pay a price for it, but it's nice to see their drought maps decreasing in intensity. So, and I know there's still a lot of areas in Nebraska that need the precip, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately for California, it's a little too much too fast. Hopefully that doesn't happen around here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Rusty. A positive day on Wall Street. The Dow gaining 217 points. NASDAQ is up 69. S&P also adding 14. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source.
Tonight.
Finally tonight, a new friendship leads to a groundswell of generosity, sending a hardworking Walmart employee into long-awaited retirement.
Jeremy Roth has tonight's Take a Look at This.
A hardworking 82-year-old Walmart employee will finally be able to retire from the daily grind after a chance encounter on TikTok turned into a crowdsourcing coup. Rory McCarty met Warren Butch Marion, who'd been working at Walmart for 16 years, in the checkout line.
I seen this 82-year-old man just working and grinding at his age. It blew me away.
McCarty posted the video on TikTok and started a GoFundMe for Butch, which went viral, raising thousands in donations in just days, which will now allow for the Navy veteran to retire from his day job.
Everything took off, and I mean took off, and it was just unreal.
I'm excited for him because it couldn't happen to a more deserving person.
A chance meeting that led to a happy ending for a very hard worker.
I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, man. Come here, give me a hug, buddy.
A Connecticut family have turned their popular pet pig into a pet party animal project that's netting big business. Gilbert the Party Pig has become a viral traveling treat for parties and events all over New England after his owner, Michelle Burns, says a couple of visits went viral.
And then we ended up getting phone calls, text, emails. Can they come to my birthday party? Can they come to the nursing home, libraries? Can they come to my school?
Now, Gilbert, along with his sassy little sis, Meadow, are being farmed out to headline events, hamming it up and hogging the spotlight, bringing smiles and even tears of joy to folks of all ages. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
I thought maybe his name would be Pork Chop or something like that.
Bacon?
Bacon? Yeah. No. Now I'm hungry. All right, let's get a check of the weather, Rusty.
I had pork for lunch. That seems weird. Mostly clear skies to the west, cloudy skies to the east, maybe even a couple of flurries here and there. It does look like the forecast over the next few days. 30s, 50s, and 50s.
All right, thank you, Rusty, and thank you all for being here.
Have a great night. See you at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
It takes time to make Amigos enchiladas. It's not the easiest way, just the best. Amigos has the faves you crave.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing Analytics.
The new iMart Express is now open on O Street across from Hy-Vee. 2 pairs start at $38.71 and 2 pairs with progressives for $76.92. For the best value in eyewear, come to iMart Express.
Right glasses.
Right price.
Right now.
At Furniture Row, a new year calls for a new sofa, sectional, dining group, bedroom set, mattress, and more. Because the New Year's Super Sale has been extended, so getting it all has never been easier. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend and watch the savings add up. Plus 4 years, no interest financing. Say goodbye to tired old designs. And hello to killer new looks at great prices. But hurry, the extended New Year's Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
Bag sale, 15% off. So I was thinking we could fix up a few things around here. New cordless drill, so we can finally hang those pictures. LED bulbs, that'll help with the electric bill. Picked up some toothpaste for us. Always need batteries. New coat of paint for the mudroom. And finally, something to unclog that basement sink.
The bag is back. Hurry in and get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag now at Menards.
Sopatopia, Lincoln's newest state-of-the-art fusion-powered car wash tunnel, has 6 fusion levels to erase those pesky bugs and hard-to-get grimy spots, leaving your car squeaky clean. Add a ceramic coating and add a molecular-level 3-layer durable shield that repels dirt, droppings, contaminants, and water for a superior, longer-lasting shine. But what really makes Sopatopia the best car wash in town is how cool you're going to feel after.
Let's go again!
Johnny, all of us here at Honda of Lincoln are excited and extremely proud to help you celebrate your 50th anniversary of winning the Heisman.
And I, too, am equally excited, Andy, to help you celebrate your 50th anniversary.
And for the next 50 customers, buy any new or pre-owned vehicle and get this Johnny the Jet Rogers 50th anniversary collectible football at no additional cost.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Trillion Health and Hormone Therapy, Peptide Therapy, Gynecology, Sexual Medicine, Medical Aesthetics. Offices in Omaha, Lincoln, and Norfolk. View our schedule and book online at trillionhh.com. Insurance accepted.
The new iMart Express is now open on O Street across from Hy-Vee. With a huge selection of frames at low prices, you'll get your glasses fast, same day fast. The new iMart Express is now open on O Street across from Hy-Vee.
At Barry Law, we're in it to win it.
Tonight, several breaking stories as we come on the